So all of these things have to be conveyed by the buyer to the buyer's agent. We at Baird & Warner, we have two affiliates that we need to make disclosure about to our to our listers and to our buyers. That is, we own a company called Key Mortgage, which is a really fine institution. They come up with some really magical lending situations to all sorts of buyers. New first-time buyers, veteran buyers, etc., etc. If for no other reason you want to talk to Key Mortgage for a second opinion. We also own a company, Baird & Warner Title, and that arm of the company supplies attorneys who are obviously dealing with real estate exclusively. They access a title company, which can be very important in establishing who actually owns title to the property that you're buying. So all of these things are of value to you as a buyer, and they come from a professional, licensed Illinois realtor. And once they know what you're looking for, we'll build a search for you in the MLS to find properties that fit your price range, that are in the locations that you are looking for. They have the proper number of bedrooms, the proper number of baths, garages, etc. You can even filter down exclusively to what school district you would like your children to be in. All of these things can be what county you want to live in. You don't want to live in Cook County because you think the taxes are too high. So you avoid Cook County and you go to Lake County possibly, or McHenry County, further away from the city. All of these filters can be put into a search for you so that when you receive properties that fulfill all of those requirements, you will know that all of your needs have been met. And so everything that you look at from that realtor as it comes to you directly from the MLS, you can look at it confident that you're not wasting your time. And if the photos and the description interest you and excite you, you contact your realtor and say, look, you sent me a couple of properties this morning. Here's this one on Garland that I would really like to see. Can we get there soon? And the realtor today, in today's market, will be happy to get you as quickly as possible and be ready to pull the trigger quickly as possible, because the low inventory is still driving the force and the action of our real estate market here in the Midwest, and certainly in the Chicagoland suburbs. So that's very important. Now, once you've decided that you want this property, you go to that agent that you've engaged and you find out what sort of offer has to be made. Should we anticipate multiple offers? Should we make an offer that's above listing price because the property is so attractive? All of these various caveats have to be discussed, and if you've got the right person representing you, the advice and the guidance that agent will be able to provide you will be priceless. Okay, so you find the property, you make an offer on the property, the agent takes you through all the various documents that you have to be responsible for. The seller will have prepared disclosures about his or her property. Is there a roof leak? Is there a basement leak? Does the dishwasher work? Does the furnace kick out? Whatever the case might be. All of those things have to be disclosed by the seller, especially if he knows or she knows that there is a material defect that has to be addressed. Okay, all of these things obviously are going to impact the manner and price tag of your offer as a seller. So you make your presentation, you build in all the caveats that you can find and make that be addressed in your price tag offer, and maybe you get a counter. So you get a counter, and your agent will help you discuss with you what are the best ways to respond to this counter. The price tag is not the only issue that a seller may be considering. Maybe the closing date is very important to them because they've already got a home under construction and it won't be finished until such and such a date. So they don't want to close too much before that because they will have no place to go. Going to grandma's basement is not the most attractive idea. So they may have a specific date in mind, okay? And your agent can find that out, maybe before you even make the offer. Another issue that might be important to the seller is what sort of mortgage are you getting? Are you putting 20% down, 25% down, 3% down? All of these things can impact on the quality of your offer, not just the dollars and cents quantity, but the quality of your offer. And then another issue, your earnest money. Earnest money is exactly what it says it is. How earnest are you about purchasing this property? If you're buying a $400,000 house and you decide to give them $500 in earnest money, you're not demonstrating a really serious earnestness about purchasing that property. You may want to consider giving them 1 or even 2% of your purchase price as earnest money. So you may be giving them several thousands of dollars, and it tells that seller that you are serious about buying this property. You're not fooling around here. We're coming in here loaded for bear. So that's another issue that's part of the delivery, okay? So it's not just the dollars and cents, and if your agent knows what they're doing, they're going to make all of that clear to you and give you the best shot at getting the property that you want. Okay, so now you've presented your offer. The seller comes back and says, okay, they want $10,000 more than you're offering. They want another $1,000 in earnest money, blah, blah, blah. They give you a bunch of counters. You receive them, you discuss them with your agent, and maybe even your attorney at this point, and say, I don't know, what do you think? Should we accept that? Should we tell them no, we don't want to? Should we split the difference? And your agent his experience or her experience is going to be key to this, because they can read between the lines oftentimes in such a way that they know, you know what, I would go ahead and give them the extra $4,000. I think we need that, otherwise we may give it away to another buyer. So now you respond to the counter, everybody's in agreement. The next step is you've got 5 business days for attorney's review and home inspection. And you must, by all means, have a home inspection. I don't care if you're buying it as is. I don't care if it's brand new construction. You have a home inspection. I had a client purchase a brand new townhome. It was just built. No one had ever lived in it. It was finished. It smelled new. Everything was cool about it. The home inspector found that every outlet in the house was in reverse polarity. So all of those had to be changed. Now, the homeowner, the new buyer, could have done that, but why should they? They're buying a brand new property. So we brought that to the attention of the builder, and they go, oh my gosh, that's impossible. Our electricians are so good, but if there's a problem, we'll have it corrected. And they did. They fixed it in, one afternoon it was done. And so we didn't have an issue there at all. But you really want that home inspection to be done, especially if they're going to find, let's say you're buying a property as is. Okay, as is fine, but you still do the home inspection, because as is maybe how much you're willing to accept. If you've got a couple windows that are stuck, or because the paint dried them closed, that's one issue. But if you've got a broken heat exchanger in your furnace, which is leaking CO2, that's a death knell. So you don't care about that. Now, you can say to the seller, I'll reconsider this as is, but you have to replace the heat exchanger. And the seller says, no, it's being sold as is. That's a real big cue to turn around and walk away. Okay, just for the record, that would be a no-no. So that's why you want to have that home inspection. In the meantime, your attorney is reviewing all the language of the contract, if there have been any changes from the standard boilerplate, etc. So now you've got a contract. It's done. You've negotiated the inspection issues, you've negotiated the price, you've negotiated the closing date, all of the various elements of that contract have been done. Now you give it all to your attorney. The attorney goes through all of it to see if there's any issues with regard to the way the home inspection caveats were addressed. Okay, he comes up, he says, Charlie, you got a great house here, and the contract is clean and neat, and you should be able to close on time. I spoke to your lender. So now we go to the stage of just waiting. Okay, and in this stage, your agent is going to keep on top of the lender to make sure that they're getting all the documents that they need. They're going to make sure that the survey is being done, making sure that all of the issues that are as a buyer's responsibility, you will be responsible for getting a survey done, or no, you won't be, but the seller will be. But you have to be sure that you get it, and that it's no more than 6 months old. And these are the things that this professional real estate agent is guiding you through during this important time. So it's not just, well, let's sit around and have a cocktail. Not yet. Wait until the closing day. So now you've gone through all of the various protocols. Everything that's been required of the seller has completed. Everything that's required of the lender has been fulfilled. And now you're 2 days away from closing, and the title company is checked, and the people who say they're selling the house do indeed own title to the house. So that's clean. All of these things are in order and in good shape. The date of closing comes, the time of closing comes. The seller has probably pre-signed everything, and so they will probably not be at the closing. Their attorney may be. Your attorney, the buyer's attorney, will definitely be there, because the next big job for them is to guide you through the stack of documents that are going to be in front of you, predominantly having to deal with the mortgage that you're paying. They're going to have to deal with the taxes that's being paid, because out of the funds that are coming from your mortgage company and your down payment, etc., all of those things, when that money is being doled out, one of the first places it goes to is the seller's mortgage company. So if there's an outstanding balance on their mortgage, or maybe a second mortgage, all of those things are paid first from that are paid. If there's a homeowners association, those are paid. If there are any mechanics liens against the property, a plumber that did a job for them 6 months ago didn't get paid, he's got a lien on the property, that lien will be taken care of and paid out of the funds that are arriving from your mortgage company. The attorneys will receive a check. The two brokerage houses, the real estate brokerage houses, will receive a check, all coming out of those funds to purchase the home. So the seller, unless they're selling it short, and we won't go into that right now, the seller doesn't take anything out of their pocket at this juncture. All of the monies that are coming into that seller from the purchase of the property, all of those bills that we talked about are being paid from those funds. Whatever's left over, whatever the net proceed is, that's given to the seller in a check or wired to an account, etc. So, and then everybody shakes hands, you get your keys, we all get our checks, we shake hands, and we go out and have a cocktail. Or go have an iced tea, I don't care, whatever your preference may be. But now the property is done. You are a proud homeowner. You've got the place that you wanted. You got the place that your kids wanted because of the backyard and the play set, etc. So you can count yourself a lucky person and a fortunate one, because that all the professionals in this transaction worked for you and they did a good job. My name is dmciesil with Baird & Warner Real Estate. If I intrigued you today with some interesting anecdotes and facts about buying and selling a home, I certainly subscribe to me. But if indeed you have a question that you don't want to wait for the next video to come out, or you don't know if it's in one of the videos we've already shown, feel free to call me. The number's on the screen there, 847-651-2582. I've been doing this a long time, so if I don't have an answer, I know where I can get it for you. If you want to hear more great topics discussed in the future, subscribe to my channel. Thanks, and have a safe day. Bye now.